Let's see if anybody comes in. Well, maybe I prefer a good solid state amp into a matching cab than the current modeling stuff. The more I'm thinking about it, I'm playing the Fender one, the Screaming Blonde. It's cool. You can have a clean Fender sound on one channel, broken up Fender sound on the other, then hit a tube screamer. I'm good with just the clean and dirty Fender sound. It's good, bro. And this cab is it's got an Eminence Victoria amp company speaker, so like Fender 12-inch speaker. It's good. And even if it's more option paralysis to have to match the Tech 21 units with an appropriate cab, I've got appropriate cabs for them. I mean, it's whatever, bro. It's like the modeling into that IR Celestion speaker, it sounds good, but play the solid state version of it and you'll be like, oh, there's something there. It's still not good as a tube amp, but there's something there that has this amp like quality, which is playing through some sort of circuit instead of playing through a computer program. So, also, okay, an observation, the Tech 21 stuff, when you've got real like fuzz pedals and you step on the shit and like your windows start shaking and shit around the house starts rattling. Yeah, the Tech 21 stuff has a lot of frequency manipulation at your fingertips and stuff will start shaking. The modeling stuff, it's really not shaking stuff. There's something about every loose thing in your house starts shaking when you turn up a real piece of gear. Tech 21 has that. The modeling stuff, even if you turn it up at the same loudness, the same SPL, stuff's not shaking. Like, this is a complex topic. All right. And a lot of it is experiential. You got to be there. That's why I don't like watching the YDNA videos where he's playing stuff and it's a cell phone recording and he's just like, oh, that sounds so great. And then he'll call me and he'll want to chat about how great it sounds. Like, hey man, I don't hear what you're hearing, but more power to you. And I wish I was there in the same room because it seems like you're loving it, you know? But yeah, you got to be there to experience it. This guitar, the neck really moves around. I've had this in a case for a couple months or something. Whenever I take it out of the case, the strings are really close to the fretboard. A day later, after sitting out in the air, you know, in the room, the strings are where they need to be. This fretboard, it moves, or the neck moves around a lot. Yo, we got any guitar players out there? I see the chat. Who's a guitar player out there? You got any rock stars out there? I really want to like Tech 21, man. I really do. I don't know if I'll be able to. So the Tech 21 stuff, The ones that I like the most right now, the Fender one's probably the one I like the most. Now, Fender, I guess Fender and Marshall are kind of equally as popular. The Fender one was the one that sold the most because that became the Joyo American sound. Um, so I guess as far as a big impact the Tech 21 had, the Joyo American sound is kind of the culmination of this character series as far as big impact, because that one that sold a lot, and there's a good reason because the sound is great. I love Marshall sounds just as much as Fender sounds. The Marshall one doesn't immediately speak to me like the Fender one does. Now the Hiwatt one, I remember when I play this Hiwatt one, why I liked their character series Hiwatt pedal 15 years ago. It's because you get an extra articulation level that you don't get with the Marshall and the Fender. They were able to capture that very well in this Hiwatt pedal. The only issue is most people don't have a Fane speaker to put this into. You need the Hiwatt Tech 21 thing, the power amp, and an appropriate cab. Most people don't have that appropriate cab, so they plug it in to a Celestion cab. They plug it in to a Fender cab. That's not what's up, that's not the way you're supposed to be doing it. So that kind of gets in the way of that really being utilized for what it's meant to do. Now, you can plug it into the PA speaker like we talked about, but these things don't have the amount of detail and articulation as the latest modelers do into the PA speaker. But that's not to say that you should forego the Tech 21. I think there's a good case to be made. Tech 21, power amp, guitar speaker. Now, that power amp part of it, that issue sucks. Because the solid state, like PA style power amps, probably aren't going to give you the same type of feel as power amps made for guitar. I found a good middle ground with ISP Stealth. And I've had better than middle ground results with the Blue Guitar Return. I just don't like having a whole Blue Guitar amp with every feature and so on, and just using one piece of it, the Return. Just don't like the way that looks. Feel like it's just underutilized. But yeah, the Blue Guitar Mercury Edition Return, if they just made a product, Blue Guitar power amp, that thing would be awesome. Because I've compared that with tube power amps and other solid state power amps. That thing, it's right there with the tube power amps as far as the connection to the power amp and speaker and just slapping the speaker and what happens in the room and the experience. It's really great. Blackstar copied that. So if you get the amped one, you've got that power amp. You can use the Return. It's really good for this type of stuff, for amplifying modelers into a speaker cabinet. So yeah, I'm going to keep on keeping on with Tech 21. I want this to work. I want this to make sense. I'm not going to use them in front of guitar amps. I've already figured that out. That kind of sucks. I thought I would be able to have extra EQ in front of the amp. That's not going to work. I've got high quality overdrive pedals that'll do a better job in front of a tube amp. Not going to use it in a PA. The modelers sound better in the PA. There's more detail. But the modelers aren't doing good captures without IR. Once you take the IR out, even if you have a capture that's supposedly DI capture of this or that, they need that IR to sound good, man. So if you want to play out of real guitar speakers, the modeler without the IR versus a good solid state device like the Tech 21. For me right now, I'm trying to like the Tech 21. Because it's real, you know? And the tone is right there to be manipulated at your fingertips instead of these fucking banks and hold this button and then move this one. And bro, that's not the way forward. So yeah, I'm just going to keep on trying with Tech 21. And I've seen Tech 21 like comment in a lot of people's videos, even like non-sponsored videos and stuff. So if Tech 21 sees my shit, drop a comment, because I know the type of stuff that I'm talking about is the struggle that Tech 21 is dealing with in the market. When this character series part 2 was released in 2021, they probably thought, hey, I think people are going to play through tube power amps into real cabs, and let's make some easy to use preamp amp simulator devices. Maybe at that time they were thinking it's not just going to be straight to PA. Guitar players are probably going to want to play through, real speakers. There's a niche in the market for this, and they'll be able to use these products down on the floor and easily adjust it, and have the stomp box in there also that matches up with the thing. I don't know. I think this Character Plus series, it's kind of fascinating. And it's being blown out right now. $99 a piece, Sweetwater. I wonder what the current conversation at Tech 21 is about these things. Maybe it's because they didn't sell, and Tech 21 is just saying, fuck it, let's blow them out. Or maybe Tech 21 is sitting there with the same tests that I'm doing in their headquarters, and they're saying, man, this stuff just isn't as good as the current products. Let's sell it out. Let's blow it out. I'm not sure. I do think there is a place, though. I'm trying to think that. I'm trying to believe that. Maybe there still can be a place for these products. I guess tomorrow I'll pull out my Blue Guitar Iridium, run the Tech 21 through the return. Try out all 3 Tech 21s in the return into a real cab. And also into the triple cone cab, because the Blue Guitar Iridium imparts this extra bass, and that's something that's lacking with the Tech 21. So maybe the extra power amp bass EQ will fill something out on the Tech 21 when it hits that triple cone. Because the Tech 21, when it goes to the triple cone, which is like a PA speaker, it's too thin. It's not cool. There's reedy, like thin reeds grass. There's reedy tones. There's a lot of different tones because the EQ is so flexible. But yeah, there's some stuff that's just kind of like weird coming out. So yeah, we got to figure this out. Maybe I will find a perfect matchup, knock on wood, with this Blue Guitar Iridium return, which has too much bass for most things, where the Mercury Blue Guitar is the perfect Class D power amp. Please give us that product. But who knows? Maybe that lack of bass and fullness from the Tech 21 matched with that Iridium power amp into a real cab will kick booty. We shall see. I'll try that out tomorrow, and I'll keep on experimenting and seeing if there is a place for Tech 21.